Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue prepping our tumbler for rhinestone application. Stay tuned. So for our project today, you're going to need your spray paint, 100% acetone, and a plastic cup. I'll explain what the plastic cup for in a moment. But for this process, what I do is I go ahead and I tape the bottom of my cup, and that's only because I don't like spray painting the bottom of my cup. If you want to paint it, you can go ahead and do that. But what I use a plastic cup for is I just put the stainless steel tumbler on top, and that way I don't have to tape the brim, and this will prevent paint from going inside of my cup. So when you start spraying your tumbler, you want to make sure that the can is not too close to your tumbler and that you're not spraying in one spot continuously, because this will guarantee that you have pools of paint or dripping, and this can actually affect the placement of your stones and your honeycomb pattern. So when spraying, you want to go ahead and just spray in short spurts and make sure you're rotating your cup as you spray your tumbler. So I noticed that some of the areas are just a little bit light, so I'm just going to go in and spray it over. But one thing you want to remember is when you spray your tumbler, it doesn't have to be perfect. Your base doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to cover it with rhinestones. You just want to make sure that you're preventing pooling of your paint. So here I got a nice even base coat, but I did get some dripping inside my cup. Now one thing I want to note when you're using the plastic cup, make sure your cup is sturdy. Mine was not, and that's why I have paint inside of my cup. But this is where we're going to use the 100% acetone. We're just going to take a paper towel and wipe the inside of the cup and the brim of the cup. Here I'm going to do the same process to the bottom. If you want to go ahead and just use painter's tape instead of doing this process, you can do that, but this is just easier for me just to clean it up a little bit as opposed to taping the whole cup. So once your cup is all dry, you are ready to start applying your rhinestone. I'm using purple AB resin in SS16 or 44 millimeters. And what you also need to remember is you need a precision glue tip bottle. In this bottle, I'm using Gem Tack. The reason I'm not using a Gem Tack bottle is because the nozzle is too wide, and this will give me too much glue, which will cause overspill when placing my stones. The next tool you're going to need is your rhinestone picker. I got this one off Amazon. Mine's, I use it a lot, so it's not too sharp, but it works really well. You can use this or a wax pencil, and then I'm going to use my flat back flipper to store my stones and flip them. If you don't have a flat back flipper, you can use one of these triangular trays. I got this one from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or even Amazon. So my brim's a little rough because I had to actually reshoot this because it didn't record, so don't mind it. But again, we're going to place rhinestones over it, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to go ahead and start applying our glue. Now some people have a question of whether to start from the bottom or the top. Me personally, I like starting from the top, and the only reason is because the bottom has no true edge. It has a curve, and that wouldn't give you a straight line. The top, on the other hand, has a true edge, and you can use that as a guide to have straight lines when you place your stones. So we're going to go ahead and apply our glue. You just want to do a nice even line. You don't need too much glue. Again, we're going to try to avoid overspill of glue because that shows. Even though this glue dries clear, if you have too much glue, it'll show on your cup. So we're just going to do a straight line all around, and then we're going to place our stones. For this process, you don't have to worry about having your stones be too straight. We just want to get them on there. The only thing you have to make sure is that they're as close to each other as possible. And then we just place them around the edge of the cup. So I wanted to stop slow down the video here because another important tip you want to make sure is that you're checking your stones, because you don't want your stones to be overlapping each other. If that happens, then that guarantees that you're not going to have space for all your stones to go, and that is going to affect the rest of your cup. So you just want to make sure that all your stones are laying flat and that they're not overlapping one of each other. So once you ensure the placement of your stones are good, you want to go ahead and turn your cup upside down. And here I'm taking the end of my rhinestone picker and just pushing the stones down onto the table. This is a very important step because this will ensure that your first line is straight, which will keep your other line straight. So once you've ensured that your line is straight, you want to keep the cup turned upside down and let this first row dry. Do not start a second row until this row has dried completely, because once you start the second row, you don't want any shifting in the first row. This will guarantee that your other lines stay straight. Now, in a taper cup, you might need fillers. Even in a straight cup, you might need fillers, but you'll need way less fillers and your stones will fit perfectly if your first line is straight. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, and thank you for watching.